Well, 18th year as a head coach, his 8th year here at Arizona, where he's 163 and 62. And Dan, the last 3 years in the NCAA, he has the best winning percentage in basketball, 90 wins and only 14 losses.
And I know the one thing Lute would love to do, they lost to Alabama last year, and that, of course, was a devastating defeat for him, but he'd like to get this team to the Final Four, and I think has a real shot at it.
Alan LaForge. Les Robinson was the head coach for the last 5 years prior to this one. He then went to North Carolina State to take over for Jim Valvano, who has joined us here at ESPN. Game notes for tonight's ball game. Well, it looks this way for East Tennessee State. They've got experience. 5 starters returning, and from the three-point range on Wednesday, they were outstanding, 13 out of 28. The guy to look for, I think, is Alvin West. He missed his first long-range bomber. He was booed unmercifully and laughed at, scoring perhaps by the 15,000 plus on hand in Provo, Utah, but he hit 6 of his next 7.
And they better make a lot of three-point shots tonight, because Arizona's very powerful inside. And, of course, the fans are right in this game.
Ron Setcher, Stan Reynolds, and Jim Harvey are officials. They're all out of the Big 8 Conference. Oklahoma did lose to Arkansas prior to our ball game. Tip-off, and it's controlled by Arizona. This is Mills. Muehlbach with the basketball. Othick is the point guard. The other guard is this man, Matt Muehlbach. Outstanding high school career. Goes for the alley-oop down low. This is Sean Rooks. Rooks, an outstanding player. Best inside player a year ago, and it shows immediately.
That's a problem right there. Good move, though, inside. Nice buffet.
Marty Story got the basket. Now everybody will settle down here at McHale Center. It is tradition here that the fans will stand until the visitors make a bucket. There's a miss by Arizona, by Brian Williams. And back we come the other way. They want to run if they get a chance. It'll be an offensive foul. The basket will not count. Muehlbach, who is so experienced, he's the leader on this ball club, and he took the personal very nicely.
You have to be impressed with the mobility of Greg Dennis at 6'11". I don't know about that call. I gotta tell you, I can't start the season this way, but I don't like it. I didn't think he was there. That was incidental. Tough break for East Tennessee State, as they made a good play and tried to convert and just didn't get a break.
Now low goes to Rooks. Turnaround shot, short. Rebound comes out into the hands of Marty Story. This is the guy we want to watch. Keith Jennings. He goes by the nickname of Mr. Jennings. He's done that since he was very, very young. All the way to the hoop, but missing. That was Calvin Talford. There's going to be a foul called, and that's going to go against Mr. Jennings. And Dan, that's one thing East Tennessee State cannot afford, is to have him get into any kind of foul trouble. No,
and I think he's smart enough and experienced enough to know the situation, and he'll stay away from it. Little surprised East Tennessee State started man-to-man. They're basically like to play man-to-man, but it's going to be difficult to match up. There's a good drop down by Jennings. He causes the turnover.
Lost by Williams. Mr. Jennings, 5 feet 7 inches tall, is senior out of Culpeper, Virginia.
I'll tell you, Wayne, you got to be impressed early with East Tennessee State. I'll tell you, they're mobile. They've got good athletes. They cannot afford to make critical errors, as Dennis just did. Stay in the motion and get good shots, because if you give the Wildcats too many chances, they'll bury you.
2 turnovers already for East Tennessee State. Dennis did the job on defense the other time, but didn't do it offensively. There's a near steal. It comes back to Mills. Rises for the jumper off the glass, in and out, but rebounded by Brian Williams. Williams at 6'11". He is a Maryland transfer, averaged 12 points a game as a freshman, and that's the one thing that Alan LaForge talked about yesterday. He said we cannot afford to give Arizona more than 1 shot per offensive attempt.
Well, the one thing about it, Wayne, they'll get some second chances because of the dominating front line, but East Tennessee State just has to play smart. Nice pass inside. That's an excellent pass for the big guy off the jump. A good read. He's impressive at 6'11". Didn't have a very good game at BYU, but look at this pass. Pass underneath. Story, who doesn't shoot it very much, made the first one and then picks up the foul.
Mills gets his first foul. This is Marty Story. He played football at Clemson for Danny Ford, a wide receiver, then transferred. He started the last 2 years. Arizona leading by 1 point at 4-3 here in the early going. There was no doubt the big upset at Provo because BYU plays so very well at home. I think they were surprised when they lost on Wednesday, 83-80 to this team.
Of course, BYU, a young club with the big guy, Sean Bradley, who played very well in his debut. But East Tennessee, a veteran club. Now they switched. Look like they went a little matchup and try to drop down and double team.
Williams got the kind roll and gives Arizona a 2-point lead. He's got 4 points out of the total of 6 for the Wildcats.
Oh, it's a different Brian Williams already. I mean, last year he was hurt, had an ankle injury, really had an off year, but has played very well. Look out now. Watch
Big
the lob.
miss by Talford. This is Williams. Othick. Off the back rim, pulled down. And broken up by Muehlbach. Good steal by Arizona. And there's a steal by Mr. Jennings. He snuck around the big guy. Williams, fast break. And with the bucket, Marty Story. Well, Alan LaForce says if we get the chance, we're going to run. And he has proven that tonight.
Nice dish that time by Jennings. Story never scores, and he's got 6, all 6 so far for East Tennessee State.
Williams misses badly. That was a great opportunity for East Tennessee State to get possession, but it was tipped out of bounds. And coming in the ball game is Wayne Womack. He will check in for Sean Rooks here in the early going. Now, Wayne Womack, 6'8" junior out of Pasadena. Dan, he's one of your favorites on this ball.
Yeah, he's a good player, and of course, one of the strengths that Arizona has this year is tremendous bench strength. They'll come with Eddie Stokes. They'll come with Khalid Reeves. They have a lot of players. There's a 3-point opportunity missed by Mills.
And good blocking out. Exactly right for East Tennessee State. Greg Dennis pulled down that rebound. Here's Mr. Jennings. He had 26 in that victory against BYU. Dennis with a fine move. Muehlbach with the rebound. Both teams a bit cold. A bad pass by Othick. Great save by Muehlbach. Stays in play. Battle for the ball. And out of bounds it goes. Last touch by Arizona. Well, this is to be expected. They've only played 1 game each. They're in the early going of this one. 15:51 remaining. We're tied at 6 in Tucson. We have a tie game here in the desert of Tucson, Arizona. Lute Olson, an outstanding coach for the Arizona Wildcats, and Alan LaForce trying to get his name a bit well known. There was a time where he thought he'd never get a chance to coach at Division I.
And it's nice to see it. First head coaching Division I job at 55, and a little patience pays off sometimes.
Knocked out of bounds by Arizona, or foul. It was a foul on Othick, who had a reach-in foul. That was not supported by this Arizona throng. Lute Olson had great success at Long Beach City College, then went to Long Beach State following Jerry Tarkanian there just 1 year. A very good year. They only lost 2 games that year. And great strides made with that Iowa program. He was there for 9 years and now in his 8th year at Arizona. Dan, a lot of people were saying, how can Lute Olson leave such a great college basketball team with Iowa?
Well, it probably starts with M and ends with Y. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of weather.
And weather.
8-6. It is East Tennessee State leading the Arizona Wildcats. This is Womack. Williams with the board. They're going to get a lot of high percentage shots that way. They're 4 for 10 shooting now. 6 points for Williams.
Arizona showing their zone. Trying to match up. Force the perimeter jumper. They need to move quickly to Jennings.
Rodney English is coming to the ball game. He's number 4. He is in possession of the basketball right now. This is Calvin Talford.
Plenty of time. Showing good patience. Not a bad shooter.
Major Gear missing. Williams with the rebound. He wants to be a force here in Arizona. He's off to a good start. Great pass to Womack. That's Arizona basketball at its best, Dan.
Well, nice pass that time in the open court. Of course, Womack just hustling down the floor, opportunistic. There's the match again. And one thing about Arizona, they'll run the defense time and time again. If they're successful, they will not switch. There's their trap.
Mr. Jennings gets his first shot down, and it's a 3-pointer.
He's perfect on the year from the three. He made 4 out of 4 against BYU from the three-point range.
This is Womack. He lost the handle, but a foul is going to be called. That's going to be called on Rodney English. Alan LaForce wanting a traveling call. Didn't get it.
And I think he wanted it before the shot. See if it's out of bounds.
Alvin West and Marty Story return to the lineup. Going out, Rodney English and Major Gear.
One thing East Tennessee will have to do is if they're going to play man-to-man and play behind at the post, once it goes down deep, you need to drop down. Now, they're playing straight behind in there. You need to drop down. Otherwise, Williams and Brooks will get open shots. Still, though, not a bad shot. May have been an air ball, but if you let him post up 5 feet from the basket, he will hurt you.
Arizona, 122 points on Wednesday against Austin Peay. That's the second best offensive output ever by a Wildcat team. Othick all the way to the hoop, and he's nailed. It's going to be on either Dennis or Marty Story. Take your pick. Each one had a lot of contact.
Good penetration. Of course, Othick, a left-hander, takes it inside and gets by Jennings. There's the help. Dennis looked like he had a lot of ball.
And quickly back in the game, Rodney English.
I don't think they can afford to let Arizona penetrate. They need to keep their guards on the perimeter.
Free throw made.
But a nice start for East Tennessee State. I mean, you've got to be impressed. This is a game that can do nothing but help this club. I mean, they're never going to see a team like this in the Southern Conference. No, a conference that they will win again this year. But this is a game that could help them in postseason play.
They want to get to the NCAA. They lost in the first round last year, did East Tennessee State. That was to Georgia Tech and Kenny Anderson.
Not
and it's got the rebound.
Well, they lose by what, 15, 16?
16. Another turnover. Here comes Othick running the break. Mills out of control, but fouled. He's nailed by Alvin West.
Of course, Mills takes Judd Bushler's place, who graduated last year. There's the inside play and the steal that time by Womack on the other end.
Womack, if he played at another Pac-10 school, would be not only a starter, he'd be a star.
Any school.
Yes.
Put him any place.
He'd be all league.
Almost any place. Man to man.
This is Mills. Othick. Mr. Jennings guarding him.
Now you need to drop down. Drop down.
Williams can't get it to roll. Alvin West pulls it down. Jennings into the forecourt. We're tied at 11. Just under 13 minutes remaining here in the first half. You're right, Dan. East Tennessee State very pleased, even though they've had some turnovers. And not all that warm from the shooting area, except that time. Greg Dennis at 6'11" hits a three-pointer. But you know, since he was a senior in high school, to this point, he's grown 6 inches. He was a guard, so he's pretty well accustomed to shooting.
He likes playing out there. There's a beautiful lob and a read by Muehlbach over the top. Back screen that time by the Wildcats. Othick with the play.
14-13 in favor of East Tennessee State.
Well, this is a well-coached team. They're doing a nice job. They're running that clock. Not a good foul by Othick. Didn't think he fouled him, but still, if it's close and it looks like a foul, they're going to call a foul. Why even run by him that time?
Well, Muehlbach,
that was
guilty
Muehlbach,
of the
rather.
foul.
Muehlbach is what.
He's got 3 assists in this game. Lute Olson showing a little bit of concern with almost exactly a dozen minutes remaining here in the first half. He knew that there was going to be some outside shooting by this ball club. He also knows that Mr. Jennings is going to be an impact player before this one has had a say-so. He really hasn't been to this point.
No, and that's a good sign for East Tennessee State.
It sure is.
I mean, Jennings has been solid, but they have had good play out of Story early. Dennis makes a three-pointer. West has come in to contribute.
Sean Rook comes into the game. Out goes Brian Williams. There's Rooks out of Fontana High School. He's a junior. East Tennessee State is 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Alvin West, the senior, cashes in another. And it's a 4-point lead for East Tennessee State. And this crowd getting a little uneasy.
I think everybody's a little surprised at this. I know we are.
Except perhaps East Tennessee State.
They're not.
Alan LaForce said they had to play the perfect game. But he said with a twinkle in his eyes, here's a breakaway.
Good night.
Rodney English. He said, we have to play a perfect game, but we're capable of doing it.
Oh, they're quick.
6-point lead for East Tennessee State. Womack. And he's going to get a chance for a 3-point play. That's a big basket. He's got 4 points.
Oh, Wayne, they're gambling defensively. They're playing right behind at the post. They're not really contesting that pass, and they're hoping the Wildcats will miss the first shot so they can screen out. That time, Womack took it right inside and made a nice jump hook. Now they're allowing this pass. No help. They need to drop down faster. And there, Dennis really does not make a smart foul. He needs to back off because Coach Alan LaForce needs him in the game, not on the bench.
Womack gets the free throw. We've got 11 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the first half. A 3-point lead for the Buccaneers. Making a name for himself. Not only in North Carolina, he played a year with the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA. In his first year with the Buccaneer coaching staff. They're glad to have him. Long bomb missed out in front. Shot was missed by Alvin West, and another foul. This one against Calvin Talford.
Good foul, though, by Talford. He went over the back, but attempting to follow the ball in. No, I think we're going to shoot it. I think we got to go to the other end. 1-on-1, the 7th team foul of the half.
What do you think about the new rule in college basketball with 10 fouls in a half?
Well, at first I liked it. And then the more I thought about it, I think it's going to take some of the excitement in terms of coming from behind out of the game, because when you get to the 10th foul, it's an automatic 2. But you sure hate to lose a game, Wayne, when you're ahead the whole way, and then all of a sudden you get into a bit of a slump and you miss a few free throws down the stretch. And so that's what the committee's looking at this year, with automatic 2 fouls after the 10th, or on the 10th foul of each half.
Mills got the first in at the 1-and-1, failed to get the second one. They're down by 2 points to East Tennessee State. Well, in a tournament that has seen a lot of blowouts, this is very welcome. Maybe not for the Arizona Wildcat faithful, but certainly for East Tennessee State. Those folks in the northeast corner of the state, near the border of Virginia and North Carolina. Great defense by Arizona, but a foul at the very end of things.
You notice Lute Olson also has gone smaller. Needs to play more man-to-man, needs to pressure. This is not an easy team to pressure. And here, a little overzealous that time by Womack.
Coming in the game, Major Gear. And leaving, Rodney English. Alan LaForce is going to use a lot of substitutions during the course of a game, especially against Arizona. You saw that with Arizona. Williams checks back into the ball game. We have not seen much of Mr. Jennings. Arizona's handled him well. Possession arrow will stay with East Tennessee State with that jump ball situation. Well, right back in is Rodney English. Major Gear wasn't in for long. Sounds like there was a meeting on the sideline, Dan.
Well, you may want to just to tell him one thing and get him back in the game. And I really think defensively, there's a nice lob. Look out! Whoa!
Great pass. Calvin Talford, state champion in the high jump, triple jump, long jump in Virginia. And you see why. Foul is going to be on Jennings. That'll be his second.
And he was up there on that dunk. I mean, was he there? That was an excellent pass. Look at this. Looking down at it that time. Talford.
Well, he jumped 7 feet in his first high jump attempt ever.
I believe it. The pass is almost as good as the shot. Jennings makes it happen.
A 4-point lead for East Tennessee State. Stolen away by Jennings. He wants a fast break situation. He's directing traffic. Three-point effort is good from the outside by Alvin West. He had 6 of 8 in that game against BYU, and it's a 7-point lead, the biggest lead of the game for East Tennessee State. And again, Arizona missing. Again, East Tennessee State trying to run. 4-on-2. Jennings tried to get the pass. Missed inside by Rodney English. That was a great opportunity for East Tennessee State. Newbar, coast to coast. Good block out in front by Rodney English. Talford. Oh, what a basket by Alvin West. He is really in the heart of this ball game, the heart and soul at the moment. We're talking about heart. How about a little heart failure on the other side for that man, Lute Olson?
I think there's a lot of people in Tennessee pretty happy about what they're seeing.
26-17.
Look at the open court follow that time. Never anticipate your teammate will make a shot. West anticipated the miss, got the follow, dropped it in, picked up the foul. Check the score.
Well, that's 8 points for Alvin West. He's got a chance to get his 9th. And has a chance to give East Tennessee State a 10-point lead. You saw what he did on Wednesday with 19 points, but he missed a free throw. That's the first time they missed a free throw tonight. Muehlbach, great save. I think with a pretty good one also. Muehlbach open for 3. Got it. Muehlbach, the only senior on this team. Big basket. Alvin West. Oops. Blocked by Williams. Check that. That was blocked by Stokes. By Ed Stokes. This crowd, when they get a chance, they'll become a factor.
They're definitely worth some points. Here's the penetration, gets by Williams, but not Stokes, who makes the rejection and the save. And the Wildcats get possession. Three-pointer was a big one by Muehlbach. Now they need to settle down. They need to look inside and have some patience offensively.
Jennings has 3 steals and 3 assists in this game and has a total of 5 points. Muehlbach, the alley-oop for Stokes. Off his hand and out of bounds.
I thought defended very well by East Tennessee State. They like the back screen a lot, Arizona. And the Buccaneers did a good job that time.
How about 6 turnovers for Arizona? That's very uncommon for them.
They need to bring the ball out. Now run your plays. Keep your patience. Jennings needs to get it. Muehlbach doing a nice job keeping the ball away from Jennings.
Rodney English.
Oops, one had a foul. The other one had a travel. What do we got?
Possession to Arizona. That's the 5th turnover. 5 turnovers for East Tennessee State, 6 for Arizona. Just about 8.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. That was a great shot. Stokes getting up slowly. He appears to be all right. It's his right elbow, but he got the hoop. That cuts it to 4. Now the crowd is standing.
They're worth at least 5 or 6.
Jennings handled this situation so very well in Provo against BYU. For 3. Oh, a great shot from the outside by Calvin Talford. That'll silence them.
That's a 3-point shooting team. You know, we thought going in, Wayne, they needed to have a great perimeter night, and they've been pretty good out there. I mean, they've been able to silence and make big shots to slow them down.
This is Williams. Williams with 8 points in the game. 5-point edge for East Tennessee State. The team last year in the NCAA that put up more 3-point shots than any other school, but they were 3rd in the country in 3-pointers made. Loyola Marymount was number 1. Number 2 was Kentucky.
Referees just stopped the play to make sure that any roughness would not be tolerated.
Between Stokes and Story. The Story, 5-point lead for East Tennessee State. East Tennessee State, the toast of Johnson City, Tennessee. Within a 50-mile radius, 1 million people live in the area. They know what they did last year, beat Tennessee at Knoxville North Carolina State at Raleigh. They did lose at Pauley Pavilion, but Dan, they were coming off 10 days over in Hawaii. They were a tired bunch when they took on the Bruins. You beat North Carolina State. You beat Tennessee on their home courts. That's incredible. That's the first time they played Tennessee in 26 years.
Well, you can tell one thing. You know, a veteran club, they're not going to beat themselves. Coming out of a timeout now, running good motion to get a decent shot. Didn't get it down. Oh, almost
tip missed inside. Rodney English was there, but didn't have the touch to put it in. The lead is still 5. Jennings with a rebound. Muehlbach had a good try to get there. Just about 7 minutes left. First half. Marty Story there again. Marty Story doesn't shoot much, but Dan, when he does shoot, he's right there. He's got 6 points.
Well, he knows his role. Story, a defensive player, only shoots inside, has 8. Oh, you can't get off him.
Othick misses off the back rim.
Well, the guy that runs it is Jennings, though. Look at him. He's kind of looking to see what he's got. Talford's just going to let it go.
Three-pointer missed. Rebound Williams. That's his 4th rebound of the first half.
Not a good shot that time by Talford. I mean, he's got to take a better shot than that. Just can't come down and fire it up.
Stokes with the right hand. Got it to fall off the glass. 5-point lead, 6.5 to go here in the first half. That's 4 points for Stokes. He's done a good job coming off the bench.
Came off the bench last year against UCLA and played so well that he stayed in the rest of the season.
And he's only a sophomore.
They couldn't get him out of the lineup.
There was talk that they were thinking about redshirting him as a freshman. He said, no, I don't want to do that. Ended up starting the last 16 games. He's all Pac-10 as a freshman, as a matter of fact.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock. They ran it now. Now Jennings is going to call a set play.
Down to 10 seconds.
He's smart. He knows where he's going to go.
Against Muehlbach, off balance. Got it out to Gear. He's going to have to gear it up. He does. Miss it. Williams gives way to Stokes, who got the rebound. Williams trying to race down, try to get underneath the offensive end. There he is. He wants it. Can't get it to fall. Talford with a rebound defensively. 5.5 minutes to go first half. 4-point lead. And this is
you don't believe
very
it, do
surprising.
You? Wayne doesn't believe it. It's 31-20. He's Tennessee State's ahead, Wayne.
This is unbelievable what they have been able to accomplish to this point. A lot of time remaining. This is Jennings. Womack couldn't hold it.
Well, you love his composure.
Thrown out of bounds.
I thought Jennings may have been fouled on that drive. You know, it didn't bother him. He just got the ball back and just kept on playing.
Kind of mistakes that Alan LaForge does not want to see his team make. Not when they played so well to this point, leading by 5 points. Well, some substitutions. Chris Mills comes back into the ball game. He will enter the game for Stokes. Did a fine job while he was in.
Yeah, Stokes did an excellent job. Mills really is at a subpar first half as you see the turnovers.
Khalid Reeves, the freshman out of Queens, New York, in possession of the basketball, being guarded out in front by Major Gear. They expect big things out of him in his collegiate career here in Tucson. Womack kicks it out, off it. 3-pointer. That cuts it to 2. Arizona, top college team percentage-wise the last 3 years. Good rebound inside by Marty Story. Around and on. Brooks loses it. Once again, East Tennessee State has a chance. The foul is going to be on Mills. If it is, that's his 3rd. It is on Chris Mills.
Well, the one thing you have to be impressed with so far, Story at 6'3" has kept a lot of balls alive. Here's the perimeter jumper that almost went down. That time English keeps it alive. And then there's the foul from behind. Chris Mills gets West. But the little guys at about 6'3", 6'4" are doing a nice job as Mills does not want to be seated right next to Lute Olson, but that's where he's going. He really has not had a very good half. Only has 1 or 2 points.
Alvin West in the game now. Look at the rebounds. Almost dead even.
And that's surprising. Obviously. Very surprising.
There's another turnover for East Tennessee State. Fast break attempt. Foul is going to be on Rodney English.
One thing Arizona does, they make an excellent transition in the open court, and of course Othick makes the simple pass ahead to Womack, who takes it in strong.
He thought he got all basketball.
That's what Inglis said. Now, one thing about that, in that open court situation, I thought Womack may have been able to take one more dribble and get it up on the glass and go ahead and convert. Or at least if you're going to get in the air, go ahead and dunk it.
Womack, as we said earlier, is not a starter right now with his team as he makes the free throw. He's got 6 points. But he says because he practices against the Mills, against the Rooks, against the Williams, it makes him a much better basketball player. He seems to be a very unselfish player.
Well, it's been the trademark of Lute Olson's teams, of course, very well coached. They run the passing game, a lot of back screens. Everybody's looking for each other. You're going to need a little help here, guys, getting the ball in bounds.
And Arizona has tied it at 31. They were down by 7. Now it's Mr. Jennings' time. They're cold right now. East Tennessee State missing Major Gear with that miss. That's a great play by Calvin Talford, number 24 from behind.
Good pass by Reeves that time. Transition by the Wildcats.
East Tennessee State has made just 1 of the last 9 shots, but we're tied at 31. So, Wayne Hagan with Dan Belwamini back here in Tucson, Arizona. A tie game. 31 all. East Tennessee State, that is, now trailing by 2. Brian Williams with that basket. He's got 10 points in the game. How important, Dan, are these last 3 minutes of the first half for East Tennessee State in particular?
Well, mentally, got to be very important for this club. They've been ahead most of the first half, and now it's going the other way. And you certainly don't want Arizona to get into a run situation now and build 8 or 9 straight points.
Womack for 2. Short, but Williams is there. He can't get the left hand to go. Brooks has it. And he is going to be fouled. He is fouled by Calvin Talford underneath.
They've turned it up a notch. Been able to go to the boards, get second and third shots. Of course, Brian Williams very strong in there, but maybe not as strong as Brooks. Able to get it and power the ball back to the basket. Wildcats starting to dominate. And East Tennessee State trying to get a miss, trying to get control of the game. But it's slipping away gradually from them right now, and I think they have to be solid in this last 3 minutes.
This is Sean Rooks. Jerry Pelfrey is coming to the game for East Tennessee State. And also coming to the game, Darrell Jones. Darrell Jones, number 31, Pelfrey, number 30. What's been surprising, Dan, is that East Tennessee State, even though Williams has 9 rebounds in this game, they're almost dead even in the rebound department.
Well, I think East Tennessee State now, especially with new people in the game, will rely heavily on Jennings. They need to react and have their shooters look to shoot the ball right now. Don't have anybody get it up who's new in the ball game. Shot clock down to 20. They still got plenty of time. Let's get the right guy with the ball. Maybe Gear or Jennings. Get it back over here.
East Tennessee State has missed the last 7 shots.
Jennings has to do it right now. Ooh, good defense.
Othick stole it. Great defense. Muehlbach and Othick have done a superb job on the big guard for East Tennessee State, Mr. Jennings.
See if they look inside.
Williams. He's unconscious right now.
Well, that's his shot. You know, if you're not going to front him, if you're going to let him get the ball there and not drop down an outside player, you know, he's going to score big time.
He's got 12 points in this contest.
I mean, let's face it. It's a tough cover no matter how you look at it for East Tennessee State. They've done as well as they could so far in the first half. What's happened at the other end is they haven't been able to score. And the Wildcats have really turned it up defensively and been able to get turnovers. And then once you turn the ball over, they've been able to go down the floor and score. And East Tennessee State right now has to concentrate on trying to get the ball down. They just have gone cold and missed their last 8 or 9 shots. That's where the ball game has gone away from them.
The Wildcats have gone on a run of 14-2. That's a major reason why. Greg Dennis, we haven't seen much of him in the first half at all. He's been sitting on that bench most of this game. Womack very upset.
Well, Womack's giving him a big lift.
Womack giving way to Deron Johnson, who enters the game, number 23.
Of course, Deron Johnson's a redshirt freshman here from the Tucson area.
Well, they finally get one. Alvin West gets a three-pointer. And East Tennessee State is back to within 2. That's 11 points for Alvin West. Brooks gets the second opportunity with that rebound and another foul. Jerry Pelfrey.
Right here. 2 shots.
Number 30, Tennessee, Jerry Pelfrey.
Actually, a very good experience for Darrell Jones to come into the game. And I'm sure that Alan LaForce is trying to give him a little playing time and give him a little confidence. Maybe he'll help him down the road when they get to the Southern Conference. And he's not going to face any better than he's facing tonight. So maybe he grows up a little bit.
Sean Rooks at the free throw line. He has 4 points in this game. But there's a lot of talk. In fact, speaking with Lute Olson yesterday, he said that with a lot of work, mainly with conditioning, he feels Rooks could be a lottery pick in the NBA.
Well, I think you're looking at Brian Williams, who certainly can be a lottery pick. Rooks, it wouldn't surprise me. He's a first-round guy. I'm sure he's going to go someplace in there. And don't count out the fact that Ed Stokes won't go in the first round. And, of course, we haven't talked about Chris Mills, who's an excellent athlete. They got a lot of good players here.
Oh, do they?
Have you noticed it?
They have as many as any team I've ever seen. And they lead by 3 points with close to a minute, as you see it down in the right-hand corner of your screen. This is Jennings. Battle for the ball. East Tennessee comes out with it with Alvin West.
Good play by West that time to bring it out and run some more clock. See, that's a veteran club. Nice back door.
Back door to Jennings, and what a play.
Highlight.
Outstanding play. He's got 7 points. Almost drew a charge. Muehlbach. He got a three-pointer. Just like that, it's a 4-point lead for Arizona.
And I thought that was a good no call. I didn't think there was a lot of contact. Now East Tennessee State will get the opportunity to get the last shot of the half. And, you know, if you're Alan LaForce and you told him, look, you're down 4 and there's 25 seconds to go in the first half and you have the ball, he'd say, I take it.
I think you've got to come away very impressed with East Tennessee State, the way they have played this first half of basketball.
Of course, the shot clock is off, and you're looking at it right there. That's the time.
Misses badly. Williams with his 10th rebound of the first half.
If it goes.
Off the top of the backboard. So East Tennessee State had a lead of 7. But here at halftime, it is Arizona, number 3 in the country, leading East Tennessee State by 4.
First half.
Well, look at the rebounds, and I bring that out because Arizona dominated 52-28, rebounding edge over Austin Peay on Wednesday night. That is not the case tonight. The turnovers are very close. 3-point field goals, 14 attempted. That's no surprise. I think only 5 made by East Tennessee State is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and they're going to shoot a little bit better than that. But when you have guards that can control the ball like East Tennessee State does, and Jennings will not make mistakes, that's really going to help your ball club a lot, and they showed it. It's a veteran team, and they played very well in the first half.
Alvin West with 11 points, leading East Tennessee State. Brian Williams, I think, has been the story because Chris Mills has 1 point, 2 rebounds, and already has 3 personal fouls, and Brian Williams not only has 12 points, he's got 10 rebounds. Ready to go in the second half, and Arizona with that 4-point lead and possession of the basketball. Muehlbach down low goes to Williams. Might as well go to something that's been bringing a lot of production. He's got 14 points in the game. What does East Tennessee State have to do here?
Well, one thing they have to do that's very important, they're going to have to run some motion now and get some good shots in the first 3 or 4 possessions of the second half. They cannot afford to turn it over. Lute Olson went to a strength right away with a basket. See, now I don't know about this one. He doesn't get it down, but Dennis did not play a lot in the first half, but you get your big guy in the perimeter who misses the jumper, Arizona, that can run well. They come right back.
Williams lost it out of bounds. Muehlbach wanting to run the team. He's the leader out there on the court along with Othick. Othick has a total of 5 assists in this game. He's done a nice job. Defensively, I think Muehlbach and Othick have done a superb job on Jennings.
Well, they're trying to deny him the ball as much as possible. Keep it out of his hands. See, I like this a little better.
That's Dennis, and he got the bounce, and it rolled nicely through the 9-line. 42-38 in favor of Arizona. Oops. There's a steal by Dennis, but he loses it to Muehlbach, who loses it promptly to East Tennessee State. And there's a late foul call on Jennings. That's a very late foul call, and that is his 3rd. And you can see the frustration of LaForce. That was very late.
There's the steal and the pick that time. 6'11" guys have a hard time putting it on the ground.
I'm not too certain if that was Jennings.
Wayne didn't like that call.
It might have been Marty Story.
It may have been. Oops, that's something.
Williams.
It's got to be travel or a foul.
Dennis did a nice job defensively. He sparked that play. And so the turnover. East Tennessee State trying to get points 39 and 40 in the books unless they decide to go for a 3-pointer. Remember, they had 14 attempts, made 5 in the first half. This is Jennings against Othick.
Nice play. A little pick and roll that time inside.
Got to make those shots.
Yeah, you do have to make them, especially on the road when you're playing one of the top teams. Can't afford to let those opportunities fly by.
Rooks. They've really utilized the inside tonight.
Again, no drop down by the outside people, and Rooks, Williams able to get it inside.
Dennis can't get that one to go, so he's 1 for 3 in the second half, and 2 have been from long range. On the move. Muehlbach.
Timeout right now. Right now, take one.
Alan LaForce trying to get Mr. Jennings to call a timeout. He will as soon as he crosses half court. He does. Arizona apparently inspired, leading by 8 points over East Tennessee State with 17:45 to go here in the second half. Now, the first half, I thought many times, especially when Arizona was getting back in this game, Dan, that the crowd was a factor. They may be a factor from here on in.
Well, yeah, I think East Tennessee State let the crowd back in. Dennis made a nice shot around the basket, but when he shoots the long perimeter shot, that usually tends for a long rebound. Arizona on a dead run's been able to score. Now, here's the long jumper. There's a fairly long rebound. And, of course, Williams to Othick to Mills to Muehlbach. And if that happens, forget it. I mean, you just cannot afford this kind of a transition and a score because it demoralizes you at the other end. You need to have more patience and try to punch the ball inside instead of taking those long perimeter shots. They look good if they go down, but if they don't, it's over.
LaForce in his first head coaching job with this school. He was an assistant for the last 5 years. You know, it's interesting. You talked about Lute Olson, and you said how close-knit this team is. It's a family orientation, I think, when you come to the University of Arizona and play for him. Why has he been so successful besides that?
Well, I'll tell you a little story that happens when they recruit somebody at Arizona. They bring a recruit in. Everybody meets him. They talk with him. They analyze him. Then the team votes if they want to offer him a scholarship. So they have good guys on this team. Lute has always brought quality people in the program, and now he's at the level that he recruits only the best. So he can achieve great things here. And he's had a good reputation, but the players really dictate the program. And when that happens and you get to that level, only few teams in the country can do that, and he's really got it going here.
He took over in 1983. They were 4-24, 1-17 in the Pac-10. 5 years later, 35-3.
Oh, what a timeout. I love the timeout.
Nice play. Calvin Taupert got the pass and got the bucket.
Oh, I love that timeout. Good play by Alan LaForce. They go inside for a score. Ooh, now they're fronting inside. Look, they changed around. They're going to try to front.
Arizona's 3 for 3 here in the second half shooting. Pressure out in front. Jennings on Muehlbach. Mills down to Williams. He's been the answer so many times tonight. He's got 16 points. It's 48-40. 17 minutes remaining in this one. The winner will advance Wednesday to the Big Apple. The semifinal doubleheader here on ESPN beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern. Arizona taking it away again. Othick, Williams. Great athletic move. Tip comes from Mills.
First field goal. Chris Mills trails the play. Left-handed tap.
Well, that's only his first bucket of the night, but it was a big one. It was done with a great deal of hustle. The block by Williams. Othick, Muehlbach. Rejected. Othick gets it back. This is Rooks. Tries to get it to Williams, throws it out of bounds.
East Tennessee may have some guys only 6'3", 6'4", but I tell you what, they play about 6'7".
They have got some athletes on this East Tennessee State team. They feel that they're the best team in the state of Tennessee.
I'm not going to argue with them.
And they get a kick out of it because Tennessee played them last year, lost to them, hadn't played them in 26 years, and will not put them on the schedule this season. They've got an awful lot to be proud of. They're down by 10 against the number 3 team in the country. Rebounds, well, it was very close in the first half. Obviously, a 6-0 run for Arizona. Big part of the story here in the second half. Explosion.
Get the feeling Lute had a little chat with the guys at halftime?
Oh, you better believe it.
Well, they need a score. No question about it. This is a critical time in the game that almost turned it over.
Brooks got a hand in there, I believe, and knocked it out of bounds. Wayne Womack is going to come in for Arizona, and Brian Williams gets a rest. Also returning to the game, Marty Story. Story will come in for East Tennessee State. And exiting is Trezell Silvers. He got into the ball game very briefly.
Well, I think the defensive job on Jennings has been superlative so far by Arizona.
Alvin West, the top scorer in the first half with 11, couldn't get that one to fall. Othick wants to run. Muehlbach. Jennings with a good play. Mills can't get it to fall. Womack tries again. It's rejected. That one misses. Several misses. And Othick is going to be whistled for a foul.
Oh, you had to like Story's block, didn't you? I mean, you know, there's another guy, 6'3", 6'4". Muehlbach and Othick doing a nice job, though. Othick missed the three-pointer.
Can you win in college basketball today, Dan Belwamini, without a good set of guards?
Well, no, I think guards are the most important thing you need. If you have great guards, it will make up for a lot of deficiencies because they control the ball.
Boy, especially in that ACC, they've got a handful of them. Jennings for 3. He'll need a few more of those prayers answered. Down by 6. Mills knocks Jennings down. Can't get that one to roll into the hoop. Here comes Jennings on the move against Othick. This is Dennis. Tried to force the pass inside. Muehlbach is fouled. That'll be number 4 on Mr. Jennings.
Decision time right now for allowing the foul.
He got a technical foul. Jennings, who doesn't say much, he said something. And the referee, the official, has signaled him for a technical foul.
That's a good call. I mean, I thought he did make contact, and then I think he just reacted not to the call.
He took the gum out of his mouth and threw it away.
I think it was just frustration on his part that he picked up his fourth.
Well, that's what happened. You might remember a couple of years ago. Remember Princeton in the NCAA tournament? Played very well against Georgetown. Almost beat them.
Yes.
This team, East Tennessee State, even though it was overlooked by many, came within 1 of the number 1 seed. And their part of the regionals, they lost to Oklahoma by only 1. That was a team with Stacey King and company. Very reminiscent, because in that game, Mr. Jennings fouled out with 4 minutes left. And that was a pivotal fouling out in that game. LaFleur is trying to figure out exactly why he got the technical.
Well, I think it was a reaction. This is the technical here, the Muehlbach, and of course it's a 2-shotter. Then the ball will go out of bounds to the Wildcats. Even though Muehlbach was fouled, they're still not at the 1-on-1 situation. Now, this is a reaction not to the call. I mean, the call was fine. I think he's just mad he got 4 fouls.
He didn't say anything.
No, I mean, you know,
I don't like that call. 52-43. We're under 15 minutes to go in this one. Arizona out in front, as expected. What wasn't expected was the first half by East Tennessee State. Muehlbach missing that one. It's going to be an East Tennessee State ball.
Brooks over the back. Sean Rooks will pick up the foul. Lute's got to like the second half a lot better than he did the first. But there's no quit in this club. I mean, you can't relax.
Alvin West. He's got a three-pointer.
I like West. I mean, didn't he have 19 against BYU off the bench? He's got 14 off the bench tonight.
Muehlbach for three. They tried to swap baskets from three-point land and can't do so. And East Tennessee State's going to have another chance here.
BT back in.
Rooks leads. Remember earlier we said that 7 consecutive shots missed by East Tennessee State. 7 now for Arizona. 0 for their last 7 from the field. This is Dennis trying to move inside, and he is going to be grabbed on the line. I believe it's going to be unauthorized.
Well, there's no question about Dennis's athletic agility. This is a nice play by a man 6'11". Take it in traffic. Did get fouled.
I'm sorry.
He showed a lack of strength. Just couldn't get the ball up that time. But yeah, he's definitely an outside player.
It was on Womack, that foul. 5 points for Dennis. He's been very quiet. That's his 6th. He had no points at all in that first half against BYU. He had a very difficult time at things. 4 for 16 in that game.
The most valuable player last year in the conference.
This is the free throw. 5-point lead for Arizona. It's still a very close game. Much closer than the Wildcat faithful expected tonight. Othick for 3. Got it. He doesn't take that many shots, but when he does, it's usually precise.
Well, that time Womack made a smart move by kicking the ball back out. They went inside and then back out again. There's that man West again. Whoa!
Alvin West, another three-pointer. Got 17 points. He's got 3 three-pointers.
He may be telling coach, look, I might be better starting. I don't know. I may be able to get more points if you keep me in the game longer.
How long do you keep Mr. Jennings on the bench?
Well, you take a calculated gamble there, and I think you may want to keep him until the 7-8 minute mark, unless you really feel that the game is getting away from you. And right now, I thought they've adapted well. No call.
No call, and Womack gets the shot. He knocks Story down. It gets 9 points in the books in the scoring column. Dennis is playing point guard right now.
Well, he likes it.
6'11".
Yeah, he likes that.
Got Williams up in the air.
Good.
Nice move.
Pretty move.
It's going to be a blocking foul. It's going to be underneath. And Womack is going to be whistled for that one. So with Jennings on the bench, Dennis saying, I'll take control of things.
You know what I like about Dennis on this move? He goes to his left and then brings it back to the right. On the block that time is Womack. Count the basket. A pretty move this time by a man 6'11". He doesn't have to rely on that perimeter shot, the long three-pointer. He can be just as effective going to the basket. And after Allen LaForce took that timeout, when Dennis had missed 2 or 3 outside, he's taken everything to the basket.
He's missed his last 2 free throws. He's out of Charleston, West Virginia. 5-point lead for the Wildcats. Offensive foul against Williams. And Dennis, again, doing a superb job defensively.
Yeah, they're well coached. I mean, when you see players in there jumping and taking the charge and not getting emotional. There's the pass inside, and this time, anticipation. Look at him jump over. Little acting job that time, but he did get the call.
Les Robinson probably watching tonight right here on ESPN.
There he is.
Former coach.
Whoa, can he shoot it?
Alvin West is a streak shooter. And he now has a total of 20 points. He leads everyone in scoring. It's a 2-point game. Can you believe East Tennessee State?
No quitting that team. They're going to stay in there.
Brooks made it over Rodney English, who defensively was where he should be. That's 8 points. Good shot.
Well, Khalid Reeves is getting a baptismal here as a freshman.
They give it to the hot man, I hope, at least for East Tennessee State.
Yeah,
they do. And
again?
West, no, missed that time. His last 4 baskets were all three-pointers.
Well,
There's Dennis. Oh, what a play by Alvin West to get the steal. They are inspired, and Arizona leading by only 2 points, 59-57. In a tournament of blowouts, this game is very refreshing. Arizona, a turnover. Lute Olson had quite a session at halftime, it appeared, to inspire his crew. We'll see what he does now with a timeout. 2-point lead for the Wildcats. After a very important timeout call, East Tennessee State has gone on a 10-4 run, Dan.
And they've done it with offense, Alvin West, and this time he does it with his defense. Look at the steal. There's the pass inside and the finish. What a comeback by East Tennessee State.
Arizona has 14 turnovers. Tennessee, 11.
Oh, this
59-57.
They're going to put Othick to guard West. Now look at Othick is going to, his job is to keep the ball out of West. They didn't do it. That time West got it. Good hands though by Othick to knock it away. Now see if he follows him. Look, try to keep it out of West's hands. Make someone else shoot it.
It's missed. Calvin Topper came away with it. Dennis. Talford hasn't been very noticeable in the shooting department. That one just missed by Major Gear. Rebounded inside by Rooks. Gives it off to Othick. And Arizona can build upon that 2-point lead. What was interesting about East Tennessee State, they went to the half-court game. This would be a chance for a 3-point play for Rooks. They went to a half-court game in the second half against BYU, out of their game. And yet they were able to win the game because I thought of the guy who's missing right now, conspicuous by his absence, and that's Mr. Jennings.
Well, they can play the half-court game, and that time you took a look at Sean Rooks, who posted up and just made the turnaround off the glass. And Marty Story comes back in the game, sure for defense.
Rodney English checks out. 61-57 Arizona. Williams, by the way, has 14 rebounds in this game.
One thing you like about the Arizona big men, they can all shoot the ball. They have a nice rotation, pretty good free throw shooters. West wants to get it up. This time, Muehlbach's job, deny Alvin West, number 10, the ball. Now he's going to try to post up in there.
Talford, he got it for 3. He, too, is a very good shooter. There's an errant pass thrown away by the freshman, Khalid Reeves. Another turnover for Arizona.
Khalid Reeves will be a very good player for the Wildcats down the road. He has not had a good game tonight.
Othick comes in for him. He had left just for a short time.
And he needs a confidence builder. Now, that's tough for a young guy to come in with a very good team and just keep it going like he did in high school. It's very difficult, and he's still learning, but he'll be there.
Story, not a shooter. He gets in close, he has a chance. He's battling for the rebound, but Williams has his 15th board of the night. Story can't take that shot.
Well, you'd rather not have Story shooting the ball. You want him shooting the one-footers underneath.
Talford with the foul. Talford has 3 personal fouls.
Anytime they take the ball underneath, you have to be very alert for Arizona to lob the ball. They love to get the ball to the big guys inside via the lob. You have to be alert.
Williams. Rebound to Talford. They want to run, but it's 2 against 4. West wants to shoot. You got to be kidding me.
No.
Another 3-pointer for West, and that was an off-balance shot. That gives East Tennessee State the lead by 1 with 9.5 minutes to go.
Muehlbach couldn't believe it that time. He kind of shook his head and said, wait a minute.
Mills gets it. The follow. Oops. He got a kind roll, or was it tipped by Rooks?
And it may have been very marginal whether that ball was still in the cylinder. Did they give it to Rooks?
They, I think, gave it to Rooks on that one. Dennis was very upset about it. There's a bad shot, but a follow by Story.
That was a pass.
My
no, it was a shot. It was a shot, but Story's good. No, it was a pass.
1-point lead for East Tennessee State. When will Jennings return to the game is the question now. Oh, that's a great shot by Rooks, a turnaround shot. He can really make his own shot down low.
Well, talk about confidence builders. Wayne, you've got Jennings out of the game with 4 fouls for the last 5 minutes, and They come back to take the lead.
He's an All-America candidate, folks, and he's sitting on the bench with 4 personal fouls and a technical that was called against him.
Where's West? Where's our man West?
Dennis. This is that one. Rooks with a rebound.
Yeah, West is tired. How can he be tired after he just scored about 25?
Muehlbach takes it to the hoop. Penetration off to Rooks, but it's an offensive call on Muehlbach. Lute Olson not happy with that call.
Good defensive play and anticipation. Nice penetration and a good call. Story. Muehlbach didn't like it, but that's a charge.
Wayne Womack comes back in for Brian Williams. We're also going to get a chance to see Ed Stokes again. He'll replace Rooks.
They just rotate Rooks, Williams, and Williams.
This is a very important game for East Tennessee State.
Oh, I think it's already a successful game for East. Whether they win it, lose it. I mean, they came out and played the #3 team in the country, nose on nose, and I mean, you know, they're right there. They're down 1 with the ball with around 8 minutes to go. Just have a little patience.
Major Gear rises for the jumper, can't get it to fall.
No, he has really had a bad game. He has not scored, at least by my unofficial statistics. Gear just not able to get it down.
Womack fouled from behind. Or is he going to call that on Dennis? Looked like it was Talford from behind, but I believe they're going to call it on Dennis. Alvin West, 23 points, 7 for 13 from the field, 6 of 8 from three-point land. That is on Dennis, and that will be his 3rd personal foul.
Well, that's one of the reasons that they're experimenting at a three-point line, Wayne. I mean, I still think at 19-9, that line is too close. I mean, it's not a hard shot. I mean, it's a hard shot for me and you, but not for these guys out here. I mean, it's not a difficult shot to put down that three-pointer. But I'll tell you one thing, it does lend for a lot of excitement.
Shot made by Womack. Arizona's been very good from the free throw line here in the second half. The lead is 2. 10 points, as you see, for Womack. A nice job coming off the bench again for Arizona. And we've got a break of the action. 7:35 to go in the desert. 3-point lead for Arizona. The question is it Mr. Jennings' time? Apparently not. He's still on the bench for East Tennessee State. He was the Southern Conference's Coach's Play of the Year last season. An outstanding performer, 26 points on Wednesday in the upset win against BYU, but he is still sitting with 4 personal fouls. Down by 3, East Tennessee State.
Oh, they got West out of the game, too, so really their 2 top scorers not there. This man here, though, has been pretty good in the second half.
Dennis shy with that one.
Oops,
Mills
look out.
down to Muehlbach. It is a race. Muehlbach misses it, but he was fouled en route.
See, that's really a situation where they miss Jennings, not only for his offense, but for his defense. Major Gear doesn't get back on defense. I mean, someone's got to be back there.
Guess who's listening?
Now all of a sudden some substitutions. Gear really has not scored offensively, and that time really made a defensive mistake that almost allowed Arizona an easy basket.
Mr. Jennings is back in. His name is Keith. He's been Mr. That's been his nickname since his father, when he was in elementary school, was playing football. His dad was the coach, and he couldn't get the attention of his son. He was talking to the other players, and eventually he said, Mr. Jennings. He got his attention, and it has stuck ever since. Muehlbach stuck that one through to make it 69-65. Muehlbach, 5 assists, 4 turnovers in this game, but 3 steals. Got another one.
Of course, Matt Muehlbach, poli-sci major here at Arizona, and about a 3.4 student, Wayne, and really a top-notch guy, and thinking about going to law school if he doesn't make it in the NBA.
Jennings, a nice dish and an underhand move by Rodney English with a reverse underneath the basket to get 2. 70-67, Arizona. Almost out of bounds. Nice save by Othet. Back it goes to Othet. Missing the 3-point attempt. Rebound fought for, taken away by East Tennessee State.
Oh, there he is.
West is open. Can't bury it. Tip underneath. Can't go. Here comes Muehlbach. Womack. There's Jennings. Exactly what you just prophesied. Oh, a good 2 minutes ago, Dan. He got back there so quickly to knock that one away.
Made a smart play just to deflect, knock the ball out of bounds. Good athletic ability. Not a bad idea here. Kick it ahead. But look at the anticipation. Like a defensive back in football. Just knock it away.
He's only 5'7". Womack at 6'8", and yet he was able to knock that one away. Rooks. Well, if they're going to get it inside to Rooks and down that low, he's going to make it about 8 out of 10 shots. He's got 17 points, and he has been heard from in the second half.
Well, he got that one about 3 feet from the basket, and he moved English away. His strength was a factor. Jennings needs to control now, and I think look for a shot. Even though he's got 4 fouls, nothing to lose right now. You're inside of 6.
Thrown away. Jennings threw it away, trying to meet up with Dennis on that pass play. We're talking about Rooks with the 15 points. Heard from in the second half. He's got 13 of them here in the second half.
See if they go right back to him, Wayne. I mean, the last one was so easy. And he's being guarded again by the same man, Ingles. See if they can run it, or they go to Williams instead.
Fade away is short. Again, a volley for the basketball. East Tennessee State has control. Dennis can't get that one to go down, and Williams with yet another rebound in this game. For 3, Muehlbach. 8-point lead. Their biggest lead here in the second half was 10, and immediately East Tennessee State called a timeout at that point and really erased that huge lead to take a lead in the second half.
Another one of those critical possessions for the Buccaneers. They need a basket.
Dennis finally got one to roll around for. He's got only 10 points in this game. 75-69, Arizona.
And they won't go away, will they?
No.
I mean, they're going to hang.
You have to really admire the effort here tonight. Out of bounds to East Tennessee State.
Dennis didn't block out that time. Fade away by Williams. Got to put a body on him, screen him out.
You know, we talk about Arizona being ranked number 3. Street and Smith has East Tennessee State ranked as high as 19th in the country.
They deserve that. I mean, after watching them here tonight, you know, they don't move down if they lose.
Jennings getting the pick from Dennis out in front. Can't capitalize on that. 6-point lead and a foul. It's going to be on offense.
Well, they like to run that screen at the high post and allow Jennings to work.
Major Gear returns to the action. Alvin West gets a breather. Get him a rest and get him back in as soon as possible. See if he can get that streak shooting going again.
Yeah, I don't think he'll stay there for long. Maybe a minute and get him right back in. Oh, that time it looked like Arizona wasn't ready.
Quick inbound. Dennis bounce pass. Reverse, but a foul. No, it's going to be possession to East Tennessee State on the jump.
Yeah, good call. I didn't think there was any contact. Alan LaForce didn't like it, but looked like from here a very good block.
Alan LaForce may not like that one, but he likes what he has seen from his troops tonight. 3:59 remaining, 75-69 Wildcats. Alvin West has been spectacular off the bench. 23 points, 6 of 9 from three-point range. Jennings with his 10 points, but 4 fouls, a big part of this game story tonight. Dennis has it rejected by Rooks. They get it back, losing at the Muehlbach, and a foul is going to be on Jennings. He's out of the game. He is fouled out of the contest with 3:54 remaining. The leader, the heart and soul, the great personality is now going to be a spectator. And it is so very difficult to beat Arizona here, isn't it, Dan?
Well, he took a calculated gamble. Yes, it is difficult to beat him, and there was some contact. And, of course, Jennings really has been in the wrong place tonight more times than once. And disappointed, fouls out with 10 points. Picked up 6 assists, 3 or 4 rebounds. But sat on the bench a lot.
75-69 with just under 4 minutes remaining in this NIT game. Second round game. Arizona beat Austin Peay by plenty, scoring the second most points ever by an Arizona school, with 122 on Wednesday. 83-80 was the score at Provo, Utah, with East Tennessee State upsetting the BYU Cougars. And Sean Bradley at 7 feet 6 inches tall. Muehlbach gets that free throw to make it 76-69. We said how difficult it is to win here as the shot is volleyed. A missed shot by Muehlbach, and it will remain an Arizona ball. This crowd is such a factor here. You could say that about Duke. You could say that about a lot of different places. The pit down in Albuquerque. You could say it about a lot of arenas around the country. But this team and these fans have reacted to 48 consecutive home wins.
It's 5-6 points. It's got to be at least that much for Lute's club in here. Now they've got control. Good motion again, back inside the Rooks. He's got a lot of space in there to operate.
He's operated to the tune of 19 points. All but 2 coming in the second half. There's a shot made by Calvin Telford. They need him. He's out of Castlewood, Virginia.
Still hanging. I mean, they're only 7 down. When Jennings was out of the game is when they made their run. Ooh, near steal.
Almost got it. Muehlbach settles in for 3. Can't cash in, but Williams over the top gets the rebound from Telford.
And a smart play by Williams to bring it out and use some shot clock. They need to run their motion now. Unless they get something inside, that's pretty good.
Rooks again. You're right, Dan. Too much mobility down there. Too much space to work with. 21 points for Rooks. Telford for 3. Can't buy it. Dennis gets the rebound. Trying to get it up. He'll go again. Racked away by Chris Mills. Off it to Mills. He'll slow it down. Muehlbach. Williams kicks it back out in front.
Smart play. Bring it out.
Dennis caught for the foul, going over the right shoulder of Brian Williams. 2:19 remaining. Oh, East Tennessee State. Very proud of their accomplishments in this NIT with the win Wednesday and now this performance.
Well, we talked about the front line at the top of the show for the Wildcats. Mills that time gets the block. Rooks blocked his first Dennis shot in there, and then the transition to the other end of the floor. And of course, the Arizona guys can really run the floor as well as anybody.
Lute Olson will utilize this game, I think, in the future when they get the conference play. Well, as amazing as East Tennessee State has performed here tonight against the #3 team in the country, the Arizona Wildcats, more importantly, I think, Dan, the ability for Arizona to turn things around since 1983, to make this such a winning type of organization, family-oriented, 48 in a row, is incredible against the stiff competition that they perform against. That's not only in the Pac-10 that has really turned around over the last couple of years, but also they play a very difficult non-conference schedule.
Yeah, very competitive schedule, and still going to take quite an achievement to beat this club here. I mean, that streak's probably going to go on for quite some time. You know, the one thing you look at Arizona, and Lute Olson has to reflect on this game, it looks like they're going to win it, but you know, he really didn't get very good play out of Chris Mills, and I think that's got to bother him. And Mills, who sat out last year after he transferred from Kentucky, you know, it may take him half a year to come. I mean, he's just doesn't look like that he was really in the flow. Gotten foul problems. Here's the inside move by Dennis, who has impressed with his quickness and his ability to go left. He goes left all the time. I never see him go right. He always likes to put it down going left to the basket. But getting back to Mills, he may be really the missing link on this club. If Mills comes out and gives you 17, 18, 20 points, then maybe all of a sudden this team really is a Final Four club. I don't think Lute Olson would say that tonight. He's got to be a little disappointed, but you have to give these Tennessee State some credit because they played a very fine basketball game, especially with one of their stars, Jennings, in foul trouble the whole game.
Arizona in the Final Four back in 1988, where Mills perhaps has been a little bit conspicuous by his absence tonight. Rooks has picked up spectacular play in the second half, and Williams was dominant in the first half.
And they need Reeves to be more of a contributor than he was tonight, and he's only a freshman, but they need him this year to come in and give them the spark off the bench at the guard position.
Well, it looks like it's going to be the Wildcats heading to the Big Apple. Madison Square Garden. They'll need plenty of that. Depending on who they see on Wednesday, Williams has 19 points.
Major Gear cannot buy a basket. I mean, he cannot get one down.
That's going to be an Arizona ball. Rodney English was on the end line.
Now they need to extend the defense, try to pressure full court. Of course, Arizona's going to try to run a lot of clock. They don't need to shoot it.
Major Gear has not scored in this game, as Dan Belwamany pointed out.
Not only not scored, he's got to be like about 0 for 10.
We are working on that right now. Mills is knocked down. Under a minute to go.
I believe that was the 9th team foul of the half, so it'll be a 1-on-1 situation if we're counting correctly.
The winners tonight, Duke, Arkansas, and it looks like Arizona will be back.
Well, Brian Williams has really had a superb game. A lot of points. Look at this pump fake. Dennis in the air. Williams with the jam. Everybody likes it. Brian really likes it. He's had a big game for the Wildcats. Quite a player.
He has tallied 19 points tonight. We had touched upon it in the first half. A transfer from Maryland. A tough year last year because he had that stress fracture the previous year and really had not been in total conditioning, at least what we would say game-type experience from the conditioning standpoint last year. He never did get in here.
And I don't think really last year, according to Lute Olson, really didn't practice the way Lute wanted him to practice. He may have been out there, but he wasn't doing the things he wanted him to do in terms of effort. And this year, he's a different player.
That's what's interesting. Sean Rooks, who has asthma, and he is the junior at 6'11". Asthma. Lute Olson at one time, when everybody was saying, well, he looks like he's fatigued out there, he says he seems more bothered on defense than offense. He gets the point across in many, many ways. 85-72. We're down to 48 seconds remaining in this one. Shot made by Rodney English underneath.
English is going to be a nice addition to this club. A junior college player out of Anderson Junior College. And I think he's really going to help this team. This is a club that's got five or six people back that played a lot last year. They're going to win 25-26 games before it's over and be in the NCAA tournament.
This will be the 49th consecutive win for Lute Olson and the Wildcats. East Tennessee State, as you said, will be in the NCAA tournament. It looks like they should be the favorite in the Southern Conference. Well, Marshall's done a good job in the past.
Maybe Furman, but it's going to be East Tennessee State and then the rest. I don't think there's going to be a real threat to him. Oh, here we go now. 10th team foul of the half. So instead of a 1-on-1 situation, new rule, automatic 2 shots.
Arizona with Mills at the line, improving to a 12-point lead. Their biggest lead of the night.
But it has not been a 12-point game, has it?
No, it sure has.
I mean, this is going to be a deceiving final score because it may be a 12, 14, 15-point game, but it wasn't. He still can't get it down.
Dennis tries and gets it. Down to 26 seconds, and it's clicking down. The press, full court variety by East Tennessee State, and the foul. Foul is on Jerry Pelfrey, who's entered the ball game. Well, it's been quite a night here on ESPN for college basketball. Duke a winner against Boston College. Arkansas and Oklahoma going at it. And Arkansas winning that game handily. And right here, Arizona with a scare from little-known East Tennessee State. They will not be little-known much longer. Just ask North Carolina State from last year in Tennessee, 2 teams that lost at home against them. And I'm impressed with Alan LaForce, the coach. You know, when Les Robinson elected to go to North Carolina State, his alma mater, the entire team went into the school president and requested that Alan LaForce get the job after 5 years as the assistant. There was never even a search for another coach.
Well, he's a good basketball man, and I'm sure will do a fine job here.
Arizona is going to try to put the final nails in the coffin. Out of bounds off the hands of Williams. A high pass and 10 seconds remain in this one.
Should be an interesting final in New York.
Shot made.
Finally.
Major gear.
First shot. He's going, I made it. There was 1 second to go, and I finally get it down.
Well, even though Arizona continues its winning ways here in Tucson, winning for the 49th time and the second time this year, it was quite a performance indeed by East Tennessee State. Arizona wins it to advance to Madison Square Garden. Final score tonight in Tucson, 88 for Arizona. East Tennessee State finishes with 79. For Dan Belwamini, I'm Wayne Hagan for our entire crew here in Tucson. We're now going to send it back to Bill Patrick back in the studios, and he'll take you from here.